Welcome students. Today we shall start the 14th part of the Newton's laws of motion, and it will be the 9th class of the springs and pulleys problem. So we are looking the problem where we will have the multiple pulley and pulleys can move as well. And in that case we will look that when the pulleys will move, then the acceleration of the different objects present in the system will be different, and since we are not getting the same acceleration of the objects present in the system, that is why we can't apply the rule where I was saying you that by looking to the system directly you can write the expression of the acceleration by assuming that force added to the system will be the force added to the acceleration will be the positive, force subtracted to the acceleration will be negative, and that will divided by total mass will be the expression of the acceleration. So there students, the pulley was fixed and we were getting the same acceleration of the different objects present in that system. But here the cases which we are assuming, in these cases the pulley is moving. Okay, so one more problem based on that I am assuming here. Here is a surface present here, a block of mass m1 you can say is resting here. One end of this string is attached to this mass. There is one mass present here. Here is a fixed pulley. Here is a fixed pulley. This string is going over this pulley, and once again it is going to the other pulley, and the other end of the string is connected with a ceiling, and with the help of the other string a mass is hanging, a block of mass m2 is hanging here. Okay, here it is a fixed pulley and surfaces are frictionless and massless. Pulleys will be the massless and frictionless. Springs will be inextensible and massless. Okay, so that assumption we will make here, that pulleys are frictionless, massless, springs are inextensible and massless, and surfaces are frictionless. Okay, and suppose problem will say to you, find the acceleration, find the acceleration of the blocks and tensions in these springs. Okay, and what are the assumptions here that I am not going to write here? The masses of the blocks are given to us, that is m1 and m2. Springs are inextensible and massless. Pulleys are frictionless, massless. Surfaces are also frictionless. So that you can assume. Okay, so write down the problem first here. So our problem is something like it. So of course students, first we should try to find out the tensions. Suppose I am starting from here. Here is a mass m1, so the tension in the string will be for mass m1 will be along this direction, and tension always will be along this string, and it will have the pulling effect. And for the object of interest, this pulley, the tension is going to act in this direction, and that, suppose I am saying the T tension is acting here. Since the pulleys are frictionless and massless, so tensions at each and every end will be same. So here also the T tension is going to act, it will come in the pair. For the object of interest, this pulley, tension will act along this string and it will have the pulling effect like this. For this object of interest, the tension will be along this string and it will have the pulling effect like it. And the same way here we will get, since the pulleys are frictionless and massless, so here also the tension will be same. And for the different object of interest, they will have the opposite directions. Of course students, for if we are drawing this, if we are drawing the free body diagram of this pulley, we will cut this string from here, we will cut this string from here. So T and T tension is acting upward. So of course here the twice of T tension will be present in this string, isn't? Twice of the T tension will be present in this string. For the object of the interest, this pulley, the pulling effect will be in this direction, it will be along this string only. And for the object of interest, this mass m2, it will have the pulling effect in this direction, and it will be along this string only. Okay? You can start from here as well. You can say here the T tension is acting. So when the T tension will act here, so obviously here T by 2 and T by 2 tension will act, because when will you make the free body diagram, so of course the T tension will be here for the pulley as well in that downward side. So obviously here should be T by 2, T by 2, and since it is the only one string present here, so if we are getting the T by 2 and T by 2 tension here, so obviously here T by 2 tension will be present. But since I have considered from here T tension, so it will become twice of T. Okay students, thereafter what will we do students? We will assume our accelerations. Now I am saying this mass m1 is accelerating in this direction, and it has the acceleration a1, and this mass m2 is accelerating in this direction, it has the acceleration a2, I am assuming. Okay? Then after, what will we do students? After performing this task, we will make the free body diagram. So obviously, when are we looking the FBD of block of mass m1 due to the contact present there. First, the force due to the gravity will act, which will be always in downward side, and that will be equals to what? Mass times the acceleration due to gravity m1 g. And of course, due to the contact present with the surface, a normal will act on it, a reaction will act on it, which we are saying something equals to normal. So this normal will be something equals to n1 will be n1 we will say, and obviously look student, the length of these vectors would be same because they will get balanced. Otherwise, no, if they will be not balanced, one will be more than the other. When it will happen? In that elevator it will happen. When it will accelerate. So there you will get the lengths different, but here the length will be same, since we know that no acceleration is present in that y direction. Suppose we are saying y direction in this way, so they will get balanced out. Okay. So M1 at mg we have seen. Obviously a tension T is acting in this direction. Here we are getting tension T, and the block is accelerating with an acceleration of A1 in the x direction. Okay? Is there any other force which is acting here? No, since we have assumed the frictionless surfaces, so friction force will be not present in this case. Okay? So right up to here. So after drawing the free body diagram of block of mass m1, what will we do, students? We will apply the Newton's second law in x direction and y direction. Suppose I am saying this one is our coordinate system. In this side we have assumed the positive x-axis. In this side we have assumed the positive y-axis. Okay? So that Newton's second law will say us that vector sum of all the external forces acting in y direction, first I am assuming, that should be equals to mass m1 times the acceleration in y direction, that we are representing something equals to ay1. Obviously, when we will look into the y direction, n1 and mg force is acting here, n1 and m1g forces are acting here, and upside we have assumed as our positive. So from here what will we get? That external forces are n1 minus m1g, and here we will get 0 since there is no acceleration in y direction for block 1, isn't it? So ay1 is equals to 0, so the right side will become 0. So from here what will we get, student? That our n1 will be equals to m1 times g, isn't it? Obviously I have told you, in an elevator when it is moving with constant velocity upward or downward, or if it is at the rest, so if it is at the rest or moving with constant velocity, uniform velocity, so no acceleration will be present there. So when no acceleration will be present there, so normal reaction will be equals to that weight of that object. Okay, so that is coming here. Obviously, when will we apply the Newton's second law in x direction? So vector sum of that all the external forces acting in x direction, that should be equals to what, students? Mass times m1 acceleration in x direction of the block 1 we are saying. Of course, students, in x direction only T tension is acting. External force is only T. So this side we have assumed as our positive. So here the external force is T. That should be equals to what, students? Mass times the acceleration in x direction. So A1 we have assumed in the same positive side, so that A1 is going to come here. So P will be equals to M1 A1. Okay, so you can write up to here. So we have drawn the FBD of block 1 or block of mass M1 and written the equations by applying the Newton's second law. Next, what shall we do, students? We will draw the free body diagram FBD of block of mass M. So basically, student, for block of mass M2, the force due to the gravity M2G is acting in downside. No normal force will act on it since here is no contact present. So since here no contact is present, so no normal reaction is going to act on it. And of course, it means outside there is a 2D tension present here. Of course, we will say that length of these vectors will be not same, isn't it? This length of these two vectors should not be same. Why? Because it is accelerating. So when it will accelerate, so obviously there will be some it is moving downward. So obviously when do you move? No, when your lift accelerates in downwards direction, you feel light in your, isn't it? So and when it will move upward, so you will feel heavy of your weight. So since it is because that reaction will get increase or decrease. So obviously I think here the 2D tension should be small. So these are the things which I am saying to you to keep in your mind, and these are the booster things. Otherwise, no one says these things to any students. It should be understood to a student what should come there. Obviously, students, only these are the external forces which are acting in y direction. The forces will act in that y direction only, and no forces are present in x direction. And obviously, students, the block is accelerating downward. So here, what will you get? A2 acceleration in downward side, you have assumed. And suppose, students, I am considering the coordinate for it like it is the positive y axis, it is the positive x axis we have assumed. So obviously, students, no acceleration, no external forces are present in x direction, so there is no need of applying the Newton's second law in x direction. What will we do? We will apply the Newton's second law in y direction. So what will we say? That some vector sum of all the external forces in y direction should be equals to what, students? Mass m2 times acceleration in y direction of the block 2, so that we are representing something equals to ay2. Obviously, in y direction this 2t and m2g is acting. So 2t we have assumed as our positive, and this M2G will become negative, and from here M2, this AY2 students is A2 and that is negative, isn't it? It is negative. A2 will be negative side, isn't it? It is going downward. So upside we have assumed positive, so it will become this. So in the place of this, what can I write? I can write minus M2 A2. I am writing, okay? Obviously students, when it is accelerating downward, so if it is accelerating downward, so it's that vector of that force due to the gravity should be more than the vector of this tension. And here what are you doing? That this 2t vector should be small, this should be more, and from this small you are subtracting the big. So what will you get in that case? A negative sign you will get here. Okay, or you can say, no, the problem is saying to you that if it is accelerating downward and you are saying that your normal reaction is more, so that it should not accelerate in downward, it should accelerate in upward. Okay, so either you are holding your ear in this way or in this way, the same thing you will get. Okay, so keep these things in your mind. And from elevator also you can say these things right up to you. So students, here we are looking this will get balanced, there will be no use of it. It is the first equation we are getting here, it is the second one equation we are getting here. It is a negative sign students here, okay? But here the unknowns are three, there are three unknowns. Tension, A1 and A2. So we have three unknowns but two equations. So what will we do students? We will find out the relation between the acceleration of the blocks. So when you will find that relation between the acceleration of blocks, since student you want to know the relation between the acceleration of the blocks, you can apply the Sautrey theorem. And Sautrey will tell to you that vector sum of that all the dot products, vector sum of all the dot products from 1 to n is Tn dot An should be equals to what students? 0. Or in other word, what can you say? This n is equals to 1 to n, it is going. This magnitude of this tension vector multiplied by magnitude of this acceleration vector times cos theta, that should be equals to 0. So obviously when will you look at to the block of mass m1, tension is acting in this direction, acceleration is also in the same direction. So for block 1, what can you say? It is the T tension acting there. So vector T dot acceleration is what, student? A1 for the block 1 plus for the block 2, what can you say? Tension is what? Twice of T, students. So it is twice of T vector multiplied by what? A2 vector. That should be equals to what, students? 0. When will you that remove the dot product, what will you get? That magnitude of the tension vector multiplied by magnitude of the acceleration vector times cos theta. So cos for the block 1, if they are in the same direction, that will be positive. If they are in that opposite direction, that will be negative. Is it? In the same way, which you can say that if they are in the same direction, tension and acceleration are in the same direction, theta will be equals to 0 and that will be equals to 1. But if they are in opposite directions, so theta will be 180 degree and that will be minus. So I am saying these things. Once you will become habitual about these things, so the problem will get solved quickly. So A1 is in the same direction, T is in the same direction. So theta is equals to something equals to 0 degree. And here the 2T tension is upside and acceleration is in downside. Okay, so here the theta will be equals to what? 180 degree. Isn't it, students? So here what will you write? Cos 0. First write down theta, then after you will write this 2 magnitude of this tension vector multiplied by magnitude of this acceleration vector times cos theta. That should be equals to what, students? That should be equals to 0. So suppose I am saying the magnitude of this tension vector is something equals to T. It is something equals to A1, and here the theta is what? 0 degree. Plus here this 2 magnitude of this tension vector, I am saying something equals to T. Magnitude of this acceleration vector, we are saying something equals to A2, and here theta is what, is 180 degree. That should be equals to 0. So obviously cos 0 is what, student? Cos 0 is 1. Cos 180 is what? Minus of 1. So it will become T A1 here, and here it will become minus 2T A2. That should be equals to 0. Meaning is that your T A1 will be equals to what? 2T A2. Or you can say TT will get cancelled out. A1 will be equals to what? Twice of it. So students, I will say to you to find out the relation in this way. If you want to know the relation between the blocks only. Otherwise, if the problem is not going to say that to perform the task for that pulley, so if you want to know the relation between the acceleration of the pulleys, so I will suggest you to go for that traditional method. Otherwise, solve from it. It will be easy to know. Okay. So we are getting A1 is equals to 80, twice of A2. Meaning is that with whatever acceleration this block 2 is going to accelerate, the twice of that acceleration will be the acceleration of this block. Or in the other word, you can say whatever will be the acceleration of this block, half of that acceleration will be the acceleration of this block, and they will be in the same direction. I have assumed both the acceleration in the same direction, that is clockwise, and here I am getting the positive sign, Meaning is that whatever is our assumption, that is correct. Okay, so you can write up to you. So we have come to know what will be the three equations for the three unknowns. It is the equation number 3 we are seeing. Okay, students, and here I'm not making your parts. So students, by equation 1 and equation 2, what will you get? That here is that 2 twice of t minus m2g is equals to what? Minus of that m2a2. So in place of t, what can you write, student? In place of t, that m1 a1 you can write. So here it will become twice of m1 a1 minus times of that m2 g, that should be equals to what? Minus times of that m2 a2. Isn't it, students? And by equation 3, that a1 is equal to your twice of a2. So in place of a1, what can you write? Twice of a2. So it will become 4 times of that m1 a2. Isn't? In place of a1, what will you write? Twice of a2. So 2 multiplied by 2 will give you 4, and in place of a1, what will you write? a2 minus times of this m2g, that should be equals to what, is 20? Okay, yes, that should be equals to what? Minus m2 a2 here, isn't? And it is going to give you this 4 m1 a2, this m2 plus a2 will go to the other side, so it will become plus here, so m2 a2, and on the other side, what can you, this m2g will come on this side, so this will become m2g, is it? And this m2g, here you will get, okay, write up here first. So students, there were the three equations we have got. So by using equation number 1 and this 2, at the place of t you guys have written this m1 a1, so this will become this, and by using the equation number 3, at the place of a1, what can you write? This twice of a2. So at the place of a1, we will write this twice of a2. So this 2 multiplied by 2 will become 4 here, and at the place of A1 A2 we can write minus times of this M2G should be equals to what? Minus M2A2. Of course this minus M2A2 I have bring to the left side, and this M2G I have bring to the right side. So from the left side, students, what can you do? You can take out this A2 common. So when will you that take out this A2 your common? So here you will get that 4M1 this plus M2 here, and on the left side there will be M2G only. So of course student, that our A2 should be equals to what? M2G times 4M1 plus M2. Okay. So we have come to know what is that A2 here. So by equation 3, that your A1 should be equals to what, student? Twice of A2, meaning is that it will become twice of M2G divided by 4M1 plus M2. Okay. And once you have come to know what is your A1, by equation first, what can you write the tension? Tension will be M1 A1, and your A1 is twice of M2G divided by 4M1 plus M2, so it will become twice of M1 M2G divided by 4M1 plus M2. So we have come to know what will be that acceleration and tension. Of course, tension in this string will be T only, and tension in this string it will be 2T. So you can multiply this T tension by 2, 4M1 and 2G divided by 4M1 plus M2 will be the tension in this string. Okay, whatever are you saying that, whether is it the first string or second string, the tension in that will be 4M1 and 2G divided by 4M1 plus M2. Okay, that I am not writing, since we want to know what is the T. Okay, so write up T. Those who are facing now, if you are facing the problem of visibility now, go to the pixel of that 480. You can change the pixel. At that time, you can take the screenshot and write the things. Okay, for a moment. You can write it. Of course, when that one problem will get finished, so student waits for this time and they say to the teacher, please repeat once more time, and in between of that they will distribute their playing cards, and one round of that gamble will get finished in between of that saying the things once more time. So they will get the benefit. So once again I am repeating it. Here we had the problem like it, where one block of mass m1 was resting on this surface, and there was one string which was attached to this mass m1. One end of that string was attached to this mass m1 going over a pulley which was fixed, and again it is going to the other pulley which will be that moving pulley, and the other end is connected to the ceiling. The moving pulley is hanging a block of mass m2 with the help of the other string, and we had assumed our frictionless surfaces and pulleys also. We had assumed the frictionless and massless, and strings were that inextensible and massless. So our first task will be to find out the tensions. Of course, tension, if we are saying here for this block M1, T tension will act in this direction along this string. It will have the pulling effect like it. We are saying the T tension is acting here. So for the object of interest, this pulley, the tension will be in this direction. So this tension will come in the pair. T tension will come here. So since we are talking about the frictionless and massless pulley, so the tension at each and every end of this string will be same. So here T tension and T tension we will get. And of course, when will we draw the free body diagram of this pulley? So since T tension and T tension will act in that upward direction, so the T plus T will become twice of T. That should be act in that downward side for the object of interest, this pulley. And for the object of interest, this mass, the tension will be in that upward side and it will be along the string only, is it? And after coming to know what are the tensions, we will assume our oscillation. We had assumed our oscillation A1 and A2 in the clockwise direction, and of course if you are selecting the T tension here, you are starting from here for mass M2 and saying T tension is acting here, so here it will become T by 2 and T by 2. Here also it will become T by 2. You can check now whether are you getting the same expressions or not by selecting that one as well. So after performing this, after coming to know what are the tensions in that strings and assuming the oscillations, what will you do, students? You will make the free body diagram. So when are we drawing the free body diagram of block of mass M1? This force due to the gravity M1g is acting in downward side. Due to the contact present here, the normal reaction N1 will be act on it, so that will be always perpendicular to the contact surface. T tension is acting in this direction and the block is oscillating with A1 oscillation in positive x direction if we have selected the coordinate system like it. Okay. So after drawing the free body diagram, we will apply the Newton's second law, Newton's laws there. So here Newton's second law we are applying in that y direction, saying that vector sum of that external forces in y direction should be equal to what? Mass times of the acceleration in y direction for the block M1. So that external forces in y directions are that y direction is that N1 and M1g only, and of course student that as no oscillation is present in y direction, so the left hand side the external forces are N1 and M1g. Y upward side we have assumed our positive side, so that N1 will be positive and M1g will be negative. These are the external forces. The sum of all that should be equal to what? Mass times of the oscillation. So no oscillation is present in y direction, so the right side will become equal to 0, and from here what will we get? This N1 will be equal to M1g. Next, what will we do? Since the forces are present in x direction as well, so that vector sum of the external forces in x direction, that should be equal to what? Mass times the acceleration in x direction for the block 1. So in x direction only T tension is acting. Only T tension is acting. So the T is in the positive side. So plus of T should be equal to what? Mass times the acceleration in x direction. Acceleration in x direction is A1, and of course when will we draw the free body diagram of the second block? So force due to the gravity is going to act in the downward side, and tension 2T will act in the upside, and the block is accelerating downward, we had assumed. So suppose we are selecting the coordinate like it, upside is positive. So since there are no forces present in x direction, so we will not apply the Newton's second law in that x direction, we will apply the Newton's second law in y direction only, since it is accelerating in y direction and forces are present in y direction only. So that Newton's second law will tell us that vector sum of all the external forces acting in y direction should be equal to what? Mass times of the acceleration in y direction for the block 2. Of course, this twice of t will be positive in this case, and this m2g will be negative in this case. And since downward side you have assumed your negative, so this will become minus m2 a2 here. And here we are looking that we have three unknowns, t, a1 and a2. So we will have the requirement of three equations. So what can we do? We can find out the relation between the acceleration of the blocks. Okay. So for that, it will be easy to, since we want to know the relation between the acceleration of blocks only, so we can apply the short trick. Short trick will tell us that sum of all the dot products of that tension vector and acceleration vector should be equal to 0. So that when you will apply here for the block 1 and for the block 2, vector t t dot a1 plus this 2t dot a2 should be equal to 0. So when will you remove the dot, cos theta you will get here, and this will become the magnitude of t multiplied by magnitude of a1 times cos theta plus this twice 2 you will that take outside, and this magnitude of the tension multiplied by magnitude of the acceleration times what, cos theta, that should be equal to 0. And for the block 1 you will look that tension and the acceleration are in the same direction, so you can, your theta will be equal to 0 here, isn't it? And plus of this 2t a2, magnitude you are saying as equals to t a2 for the a2 vector, and cos 180 you will get in this case, since that acceleration is downward side, 2t is acting upside. So theta will only represent the angle between the vectors, so 180 you will get, that should be equal to 0. Obviously cos 0 is 1 and cos 180 is minus of 1, so that will give you that ta1 minus twice of ta2 should be equal to 0. That you can write as equals to your ta1 is equals to twice of ta2, so tt will get cancelled out, a1 will be equals to what, twice of a2. So you will get the three equations. Now you can solve the three equations and can find all the unknowns, isn't it? So it was the quick recapitulation of it. You can write